Cam and I were placing bets on who would cry the most because we haven't had enough tears already. Many kids growing up wish they had a dog. A friend that would listen to your problems, a warm companion to cuddle with at night, a playmate that was always up for some fun. I, however, never needed a dog because I had a little sister. I'm Anna Fulmer, and I am Emily's older sister by 9 years. When Emily was a baby, I would tuck her into bed with me like a doll until my parents would take her to her crib. When she was a toddler, I would try my hand at hairdos that were infinitely easier to practice on a real head of hair as opposed to my Barbies. And once she was capable of more advanced forms of fun, we would play horsey in the basement, which involved me tying a rope around her waist while she pulled me across the floor on rollerblades. We only just stopped that last year. Eventually, though, over the years, Emily stopped being just a little sister and became one of my best friends. As is true of sisterhood at all stages of life, I am learning boys dominate a large part of conversation. This was especially true when Emily was navigating the world of dating in the post-COVID era. It was after one ended relationship in particular that we were walking along the beach during our family summer vacation that I suggested that she kept dating guys that were too similar to her, and that maybe she needed a personality that she hadn't tried on yet. In an effort to describe this personality type, I thought of Zach's cousin Tyler, who actually happened to be visiting for the day on this particular beach trip with his family. As he was still in college and Emily was a working professional at the time, the suggestion was not necessarily one of immediate dating potential, but more so meant to be a real-time example of a personality that I could potentially see her working well with. So fast forward to the next summer of 2021, when Emily, who was already friends with several of the Fulmer cousins, was invited to crash our extended family beach trip in her camper van. It was during this trip that she got to experience Tyler up close, which for those of you who are not aware, includes witty quips that could easily be missed if you're not listening carefully, a stylistic preference for Crocs and jorts. He looks really good tonight, though. And a servant's heart that quietly yet consistently serves everyone around him. Between these things and a mutual love for offbeat music and film, Emily finally found the man she needed and up until that point hadn't realized she wanted. It has to be an incredibly rare occurrence that the matron of honor knows the groom almost as well as she knows the bride. Not to mention she is already related to both, but let's not make it weird. It's all above board, I promise. Tyler, it has been uniquely special. I lasted a whole front page. Feeling good about that. It has been uniquely special to see how the Lord has molded you over the last decade into the man that God has chosen for my sister. The way that Zach and I have watched you and walked with you through fire and seen you come out refined. Your willingness to do hard things while God shapes you into a man after his own heart has been an inspiration to us both on more than one occasion. Emily, thanks to having an older sister who is on her 12th year of marriage, you have gotten to hear all the things, some of which I'm sure you wish you could unhear. There's a lot of good marriage advice that has been given and received over the years, but in my experience, there is one key to unlocking a lifetime of true love. It is countercultural, and it is entirely unnatural. It is rarely pretty, but it is often real. It is nearly impossible to sustain, but through the supernatural power of the Holy Spirit working within you both, it creates a lifetime of possibilities. It is the countercultural yet undeniably powerful key of humility. Not an insecure, uncertain resignation of your wills, but a humility that yields unwavering confidence when submitted to the truth that your identity is not found in each other. Your worth is not defined by your success as a spouse, as a parent, as a professional. A humility that fully submits to the truth that your value is not in you, what you say or what you do, but in the God who made you in his image, worthy of loving and being loved simply because he loved you first. By choosing to humbly submit day after day, sometimes hour by hour, in my case, to this personal yet all-powerful God revealed to us through his very real precious Son, Jesus Christ, you will find yourself able to say, I'm sorry, and mean it, even though you're not fully convinced yet you were actually wrong. A Jesus-empowered humility that gives space for conviction and change when challenged with truth. A humility that embraces the broken pieces of imperfect lives with the confidence that he is and he will continue to put those pieces together to create a beautiful masterpiece beyond what you can imagine. For your earthly joy and his eternal glory, you are loved.
Well, I was sitting there the whole time listening to Anna's speech, just thinking like, well, how the heck am I going to follow that? That was fantastic. Well, hi there, everyone. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Cam, and I'm Tyler's younger brother. I just want to thank everyone for being here today to celebrate these two wonderful people. I think I would be doing everyone in this room a disservice if I didn't start with the name Emily in our family and mainly how that relates to Tyler's history. So let me just set the scene real quick. The day was August 17th, 1998, and let me tell you, what a day in history that really was. Not only was it Tyler's birth, but President Bill Clinton was testifying before a grand jury as subject of a sex scandal. And most importantly, to my mother, the Dallas Cowboys were in a week 3 of a heated NFL preseason battle, which was, my mom made sure was on during the hospital visit. So my parents were very excited in anticipation of their firstborn child. Not sure if it was going to be a boy or a girl. When the baby finally popped out after hours and hours of the baby taking its good old time, the nurse turned to my parents and said, "Congrats, you have a baby girl." Upon hearing that news, my mom, filled with tears in her eyes, turned to the baby saying, "Oh, hello, Emily." Then just a couple seconds later, the nurse interrupts the excitement and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. You actually have a baby boy." I guess his legs were crossed. Okay. So for the first 15 seconds of Tyler's life, his name was Emily. Very fitting that he is now marrying an Emily. I'm very, very honored to be standing here as Tyler's best man. It's amazing to look back at our relationship, just to see how far we've come as brothers, and also becoming my best friend. Growing up, I think we must have fought literally about anything and everything, from basketball games turning into wrestling matches to shouting at the other brother to get off the Xbox because Mom said it was my turn to play. The worst was always when we were in the car and Mom said, "If you don't knock it off, I will pull this car over," which I never understood, and we never got to that point, but it was a great threat. I'm happy to say, and I know my parents are as well, that Tyler and I did in fact grow up just a little bit, and we became okay with each other's presence. Emily, I seriously can't thank you enough for coming into Tyler's life. You have brought something out of Tyler that in so many ways makes him unrecognizable even from just a couple years ago. It took him only over a year just to build up the courage to send you that text. He's now running, eating the right things, buying fancy soap bars that he makes sure no one else uses, and just overall staying healthy. I don't know if you're ever going to fix his habits of not cleaning up after himself and leaving 15 cups or more in his room at a time. But if there's anyone that can fix it, it's you. Seriously, my favorite thing about him or about you, is how happy you make Tyler. My fiance, whose also name is Emily, who I started dating first, by the way, just want to put that out there, said to me just a couple weeks after these two started dating, she said, you know, when I first met Tyler, he was kind of a grumpy person, but after dating Emily, he's awesome. He's so happy. I can't really say exactly when me and Tyler became close. It was really just sometime in high school. But after all those years of us bickering and fighting with each other, Tyler, you were always someone who I looked up to and always wanted to be like. The way you handle yourself and fought through adversity is something I always admired and stood to this day. I'm sorry. There have been a lot of moments these past couple of years where I could have completely gone downhill if it wasn't for Tyler for being there for me. I'm so proud of you, Tyler, and all you've accomplished. And Emily, man, never in my life have I ever thought about what a sister-in-law would be like, but after hanging out with you and seeing how you interact with all of our family, I couldn't imagine meeting anyone else other than you. I love you both so very much, and I'm very excited to see where God takes you. And Emily, welcome to the family.
Yeah, good job. Thank you. Well done.
Oh, you got me! You win!
I got you?
You got me!
Yes.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you all. It is a blessing to see just so many faces that have just done so much for us over these past few years, and it's a blessing further to know that you guys will be around. We truly couldn't have pulled any of this off without so many of you here. But to keep going, I just want to say again, thank you. Hope you guys have enjoyed the evening so far. Once you're done with your food, we're going to begin going downstairs. There's a floor right below us. There's a staircase right there. That is where the dancing will take place. And desserts. Laugh Valley ice cream will be there. Please continue helping yourselves. Hope you guys have enjoyed the homemade wine so far. But yeah, so once you're done with that, feel free to go downstairs. And Emily, do you have something?
And don't forget to take advantage of the photo booth. You all look so beautiful tonight. I want you to remember it.